Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/ProRevenge. Today, we start with a funny story about the dress code at the bank. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Wear a suit? Sure thing. This story takes place in Australia. A friend of a friend, who we'll call Bob, was working as an IT manager in a large bank back when things were starting to get to the fully electronic level. He worked in the back since he was monitoring the systems and running the upgrades, doing whatever else IT does. Naturally, though, Bob never saw any customers at the bank. So Bob was allowed to wear whatever he wanted, within reason. Usually it was casual to business casual. This was until Bob's big bosses passed down the requirement all employees must wear suits. He asked his boss, "Well, I never have to see any customers, why should I wear a suit?" His boss replied that it was company policy, so yes, he did have to wear a suit. For some details that are important, Bob was also somewhere around 5'11 to 6'2 and had vibrant ginger hair. Bob complied with this policy, and of course, Bob got a suit. He got an electric neon blue crushed velvet suit. The next day, Bob went into work wearing his new suit. Boss: "Is that what you're gonna wear?" Bob: "Well, you said I had to wear a suit." Bob was sent home for a week, for a vacation. He wasn't fired as far as I know. When he came back to work the following week, company policy about suits had changed for workers interacting with customers only. Or at least Bob never had to wear a suit while working for the bank again. And our second story. When Karen is the manager. Back around 8,000 miles ago, I took my Ford Flex, which was in desperate need of some tread, to get new tires. I was a little low on money, so I took it to a Big O tire store because I had a credit card for the franchise from buying tires there before. Everyone around will tell you that anytime you bring your car in, they'll inevitably find some work that needs to be done to try and get more money out of you. I wish I'd known this sooner. I went in, and the manager was the one who helped price the tires and find the right ones for me. My Flex has 19-inch rims on it, so the tires that go on them are expensive, but I was paying on a card, so I didn't care. I found the tires I wanted and opted for a good tire that would get me at least 60,000 miles. I asked her to put the tires on and do an alignment after they get them fitted, then I go sit down in the waiting area and wait for the job to be complete. I'm sitting in the waiting area when a greasy mechanic comes out of the shop and starts looking around. Greasy mechanic: "Who's got the Ford Flex?" Me: "I do." Greasy mechanic: "We went to do your alignment. We found that your inner and outer tie rods are bad all the way around, and you need new rear lateral arms. It'll cost about $1,300 to do it here, but we can do it. You want us to get on that?" Me: jaw dropped. No. Greasy mechanic: "Well, we can't do an alignment on bad parts." Me: "Okay, then just give me the keys, I guess." As I'm signing the final paperwork, the manager is stressing to me that the bad parts I'm driving on could destroy my new tires. My friend, who was actually working there at the time, pulled me aside and told me that they looked like they were wearing down, but they didn't need to be replaced yet, so I left the store. Fast forward about 8,000 miles later. It's now April. The inside of my tires on the rear had been worn down completely smooth. The front tires only had about half the tread life remaining, and I'm still making payments on the tires. When I'm driving down the road, there's a steady noise coming from the tires from being so unevenly worn down, so I go to my mechanic, who's honest and had never tried to pull the wool over my eyes. About 3 hours later, he calls me back. My mechanic: "Hey, I'm looking at your car, and the only thing that was wrong was you had a stuck right rear brake caliper." Me: "So everything else was fine?" My mechanic: "Yeah, everything to do with your suspension's in perfect shape. No play in the tie rods. Looks like you just need an alignment pretty badly." Me: "Okay, thanks. Will you put a new caliper on there for me?" My mechanic: "Yeah, I'm on it. If I was you, I'd take it down to the dealership. They do all my alignments, and they aren't going to pull any bullcrap on you like that." Me: "Okay, thanks." After hearing that my parts were fine and my tires could have been saved by a simple alignment, I was livid. I called up Big O, and the conversation was pretty short. I'm not going to post the conversation, but to sum it up, she told me that she wasn't trying to say my mechanic was lying, but that he doesn't have a laser rack or the proper equipment to know if those parts are bad. She then goes on to explain in great detail why my parts were bad and try to make me feel stupid. She wanted me to have him replace all those parts and bring it in for an alignment. I told her I'd see what Tony Brown had to say about it. When I pulled up to the dealership, I walked in and told them what happened and what was supposedly bad with my car, and they did my alignment with no fuss, and cheaper. So the next day after I got home from work, I pulled in the driveway of my house and looked at my passenger seat where my ticket was for the alignment I'd gotten done. Something just took over me, and I put my car into reverse, pulled out of my driveway, and started heading to the Big O. I called my mom on the way because she knew what I was going through and how stressful it was for me, and told her I was about to go make a show in front of their customers and see where I can make things go from there. She was excited and wanted to listen in, so I left her on the phone with my Bluetooth headphones around my neck where she could hear everything. As I walked into the store, I was feeling nervous, but just shoved it all to the side when I saw how many customers there were. At least 7 people in the store looking at tires or waiting for their cars to get done. I walked up to the front desk and waited patiently for the manager to get done talking with another customer. Front desk employee. Hi, can I help you? Me, ignoring her and looking at the manager as she finishes up. Hi, are you the manager? Manager. Yes, I am. Me. Hi, I believe I spoke with you on the phone a day or 2 ago. I wanted to speak with you in regards to the work done on my vehicle. Manager. Okay, what's your name? I tell her my name and her employee starts to pull up my file. As she's looking me up, I start telling my story, and I tell it loud enough for all the customers in the store to hear. Me. Well, when I came in here, I was refused an alignment because of bad parts. Manager. We can't do an alignment on bad parts. Me. Let me finish, okay? I was told I needed to pay $1,300 before they do my alignment because of bad parts, and $1,300 is a lot of money, so I just took my car home so I could start saving up money for the repairs I thought I needed. Eventually, when I was feeling like I could afford it, I took it to my mechanic, who told me the parts were fine. You told me he didn't have the right equipment, so I took it to the dealership, who has the same rack as you. They did my alignment and told me my parts were fine. I showed her my alignment paperwork. The sheet shows the before and after of an alignment, and my rear left tire was cambered out minus 2.3 degrees. She was trying to tell me before my tires were worn so bad on the inside because the parts were bad, but it was really just an alignment issue. Manager. Let me go talk to my mechanic. She walks into the shop for about 10 minutes, and I see them walk through the bay doors to go out and look at my tires. She comes back inside and tells me how sorry she is and comes up with the excuse that there was 2 Ford Flexes in the shop that day, and the mechanic that was there got the tickets mixed up, and my Flex never even went on the rack. She then goes on to say she'll replace 2 of my tires for free and refund me the $40 rack fee I was charged that day. I came back the next day for my 2 free tires and free rack. I decided to write a review on Google for all those to see. It was basically 3 paragraphs on everything you've just read. 1 week later, I receive a phone call from Big O, but I was so busy I let it go to voicemail. The voicemail was basically the manager saying that she was confused why I would leave such a review and asked me to call back and see what we can do to fix it. After I was free, I called her back. Me. Hey, I missed a call. Manager. Yes, just saw your Google review this morning and my jaw dropped. I thought that everything was okay after we gave you 2 free tires and refunded your free rack, and now you've left this review saying you'll never be back except for your free rotations while they last. What can we do for you to just take the review down? Me. I was upset because while I got 2 of my tires fixed, I'll have to end up replacing those other tires well before my new ones when they should have all been the same tread to begin with. Manager. So if I give you 2 more free tires, will you remove the review? We just don't want to have to deal with corporate. If anyone reads that, it'll lose his customers. Me. Yeah, sure. I'll remove it as soon as the tires are on my rims. Manager. I'll have them here tomorrow then. So I stop in and get 2 more free tires fitted for my vehicle. I couldn't stop smiling the whole time I was signing the paperwork. The second manager even told me that because I had to come back in so much, she was giving me a free oil change next time I came into the store. I edited my review to say that I had a bad experience, but the managers did what they could to make things right and changed it from 1 star to 3. They asked me if I would still shop for my tires with them, and I told them I would, but you couldn't pay me enough to go buy tires there again. I took my win and my free oil change and walked right out of there. And our last story. Do my job and my job only? Sure. In 2003-2004, I worked for a call center in Idaho, and I was hired from off the call floor into the facilities department alongside the IT guy. Think primary role facilities with a junior role in IT. I didn't care for the facility role, so in my spare time, I dove into the IT side as much as possible and did work on behalf of the IT guy to keep the issues at a minimum for the IT guy. Eventually, the IT guy started complaining that I was doing his job, although that was the deal when I was hired, and I was keeping up on my facilities work and the IT work. One day, I was up on the call floor imaging a section of PCs because the IT guy bailed on me after he threw a fit over something. Can't remember what. This day, there happened to be an executive on site, and she asked the site manager why the facilities guy was doing IT work. I was told to only work on facilities issues. All of my work from that day forward came in the form of a ticket. No ticket, no work. 75% of the time, I was chilling in my office watching a movie while the IT guy was busting his butt. Turns out they needed my help, but wouldn't let me. Eventually, the IT guy was let go for underperformance, and I moved into the role full-time. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.